Yo, what's up, Charity Athletes? Today, we are talking about Ozempic, and specifically, my thoughts on it. And I'll be honest with you guys, I expected to make this video and be like,
Ozempic is bullshit, like this is terrible, like it's just big pharma.
but the more that I looked at it, I was like, oh, Ozempic actually is something that some people need. The problem with fads like this is that when it gets exposed to the general population, that there's a chance that you could lose some weight taking a shortcut, then everyone starts going crazy on it and abusing it, and then it becomes a negative thing, which it shouldn't be because this was created to help people. Ozempic, otherwise known as semaglutide, is a prescription injection used to treat type 2 diabetes in adults. It's used in conjunction with diet and exercise to help lower blood sugar levels by stimulating the pancreas to produce more insulin. It's also said that Ozempic can be used to reduce the risk of heart attack, stroke, or death in adults with type 2 diabetes. Now, the reason I wanted to bring this up today is because it is a huge buzzword in the fitness and health world right now, and I think it's really interesting because it's another case of where there has been a substance or thing that has been produced to help people treat a medical condition, which is type 2 diabetes. But since some of the side effects are that you can lose weight, some people who don't have type 2 diabetes are using Ozempic to lose weight. So in this video, I wanted to give some of my thoughts on it, what you should look out for, and just kind of like how you should be cautious of sensationalized buzzword products that really you shouldn't be abusing if you're trying to be a healthy person. Now, first, I want to say I am not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, and I'm also not a fitness influencer who uses big words and pretends that I know what I'm talking about when it comes to some of these topics. So I am going to be talking about Ozempic from a very high level. If you want to look up exactly what it is and the details, just do a simple search in YouTube. There's other videos out there by more qualified people than me that say exactly what Ozempic is and if it's bad or not. But I think this is important because I talk about weight loss on this channel, and I just want to give my sort of JRD thoughts on this kind of topic and how you should look at incorporating it into or not incorporating it into your lifestyle. Ozempic is just another fad in the cycle of many health and fitness fads over the years. Like, Ozempic to me is just the same thing as, like, you know, a long time ago there was, think about the fads in the 90s. If you eat too much fat, you get fat. If you eat too many eggs, since eggs have tons of cholesterol, that means you're going to get dietary cholesterol, which we've of course have found by now is also not true. Then for a while, people were like, oh, all you have to do is intermittent fasting and that's the cure to all your weight loss problems. Now it's like, oh, the carnivore is the best diet. Eating vegetables is terrible for you. So Ozempic is just another kind of buzzword, like I said, that's being thrown around. And in my opinion, it's just another fad for people to try and take a shortcut to weight loss, which if you're trying to do that, it's not going to work. So Ozempic works as an appetite suppressant, which slows gastric emptying, meaning you feel full for longer and you have less of an appetite, ultimately leading to weight loss. I guess what that means is like the food stays in you longer, so you don't have other cravings to eat more food, and therefore, of course, because you're not eating as much food, you're in a calorie deficit and you're able to lose more weight. The problem is not Ozempic. The problem is not the carnivore diet. The problem is the way that people try to latch on to these new things that pop up every year or so because they think like, oh, the other stuff that I was doing didn't work, but this is new and it's gonna work for me. And guys, it's so obvious at this point. It's all I talk about on this channel. If you just slept enough, drank enough water, ate real food, and managed your calories, and then exercised by doing some form of cardio and some form of resistance training, could be bodyweight exercises, could be weightlifting, you are gonna look and feel exactly how you want. You don't need to go hopping on all these different diets and supplements, and that's the reason most people don't lose weight, because they don't do the basic things that actually allow them to lose weight well. They try to take shortcuts and like buy pills and do all kinds of ridiculous 90-day cleanses, and that over the long term is just not how you lose weight. It's kind of sad in a way that people will do everything they can to just not do what they're supposed to be doing, and it ultimately ends up never working. If you just sacrificed and actually put some of the habits that I just talked about, tried to incorporate them, some of the basic habits into your life, you're gonna have a lot more long-term success, you're gonna have the body you want, and you're gonna feel much better. This video is brought to you by Crossrope. best jump ropes in the world for losing weight. So if you're someone who's trying to lose weight, I definitely recommend checking them out. We have the link down here on the screen. It's also linked up in the description. If you enter code do the thing, you get 15% off. And that also, just to be transparent, we do get a kickback from the sales of that, which just helps us at JRD to make more free content for you guys. So check it out. If you keep going on this cycle of just getting into these new ways to lose weight real quick, then you will most likely be not at the weight you want for a long period of time. Now, who do I think Ozempic is for? Again, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not prescribing it here. But it sounds like to me, if you are someone who is extremely obese and you have type 2 diabetes and you need some sort of catalyst to help start controlling your appetite, I think along with movement like they recommend, using something like Ozempic could be helpful. But if you're a fitness influencer who wants to lose 10 pounds for a photo shoot, you should not be taking Ozempic. It's not made for that. You should be doing regular things to lose weight like I just talked about. Substituting healthy habits for quick fixes is never going to be a long-term solution. Using Ozempic if you don't need it is sort of like, yeah, sure, a quick way to save money is just by not paying your taxes, but that's probably going to come back and haunt you later. So yeah, sure, you could lose 20 pounds by just like doing a bunch of Ozempic and not really exercising or drinking water or eating the right food. But once you stop taking it, you're going to gain all the weight back and probably more, and it's not going to work. Same thing with steroids. You can take steroids and what happens? You're going to look awesome, you're going to work hard, you're going to get all muscly, and then you're going to stop taking the steroids and you're not going to look the way that you used to when you were on the steroids. Basically what I'm saying is, if you cheat, it's going to come back around. I mean, I know I keep learning that. Anytime I try to cheat with anything in my life, life's always like, nah, dude, like you really got to do the thing. Like you really have to learn how to do this and how to incorporate this into your life for you to have success in this area. Like there are no shortcuts, and that is a universal lesson that I'm talking about it with weight loss here, but it's the same with any other thing you'd ever try to do in your life. In conclusion, the problem is usually never the substance. I'm not saying doing like a little bit of heroin is fine for you. It's definitely not. But sugar is not necessarily the problem. If you're eating too much sugar, that's the problem. Fat that's on a steak is not the problem. But if you're eating too many steaks with a ton of fat, that's probably not good for you either. The problem is not Ozempic, it's the way that people in culture right now are talking about it and using it for these quick fixes that are going to end up, could potentially have a lot of negative health effects. So when it comes to Ozempic, I think that it's perfectly fine for people who need it. And I think if you're someone just trying to lose 10 pounds and get fit, and you're perfectly capable of doing so, then no, this is the part of the video where I'm telling you to get off your ass and do the thing. That's the only way that you're going to create lasting change. And if you keep looking for shortcuts like Ozempic, you're not only going to not get to your goals, but you're just going to be frustrated and cause yourself a whole lot of mental suffering that you don't need to do. So that's why we got this YouTube channel, dude. We got tons of free workouts, tutorials. We got the JRD app with a bunch of workout programs there. There are so many different ways to lose weight and find the information that you need. So be sure to comment below. Let me know what questions you guys have. Let me know what you think about this whole Ozempic craze, and if you'd like me to make more videos just kind of giving my overview and opinion on it. All right, JRD athletes, thank you guys for being here for another video. Hit me up with any questions.